Welcome to year number 2 of the Epic Fail Podcast. This week, Blizzard gives us a possible minor oops when it comes to Blizzcon. And, well, that's going to be it. We're going to talk about BlizzCon. No, I'm kidding. We've got a community spotlight, which is kind of shocking that it took this long. And yeah, all kinds of fun stuff. I know I am overly enthused right now. This is what happens when you're up way too many hours at a time. Today is March 25th of 2016, and this is episode 53 of the Epic Fail Podcast.
You are now listening to the Epic Fail Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I don't know either. I am your host, Draven Dresden. With me, as always, are my hostages on this failed train. I'm thinking that's probably the correct term. Up first, as usual, because, ladies first, we have, from the land of the cold, Scarlet. How are you doing, and what have you been up to this week?
Hello. I'm doing good. And I just have a comment to make to Flash Goth 1971. Hopefully LFR doesn't fail too much, and we will make it good. So stay around and listen. Hi. I'm good. Guess what I did this week? I went back up to 14, but I got to rank 12 in Hearthstone. I actually have been getting ranked. So that's cool. And I did some raiding, and I have some shout-outs towards our raiding towards later in the night. But I do have one thing I want to say beforehand. Happy birthday, Raxi. So that's what I'm saying for now.
Happy birthday, Sir Summoner. Because apparently that's why we have him in raid.
We have him in raid because he speaks so much.
So he's like our Howland?
Yes. He does speak occasionally.
Okay, so not quite. Alright. You got anything else, or...?
No, it'll be later.
Oh.
I'll be sure to mention it later.
Okay. And then, from the land down under, not quite Australia, but Florida, Theory.
Hey, how you doing? I'm
fine.
Good. How are you? Cool. Hey, still no beta club. No beta club. That's me. I got my book. Did you see that?
No, we didn't see you completely distracted.
Oh, I was being productive. Effective podcasting time. I don't know. How is everybody?
EPT.
Yes. How are you? I'm wonderful. I've had a good week.
Yeah. What have you been up to this week?
Raiding. Got a green screen, or I moved my desk to the beach, whichever one you prefer. Other than that, it's been a lot of work this week. Off for the weekend for the holidays, which is nice. Looking forward to a couple of days off. And, play some WoW, do all my Garrison chores, and then playing some Rocket League. That's pretty much the extent, because I'm still part of the No Beta Club, or else I would actually play Only Watch, or Oversalt, or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. As for me, I have been playing Overwatch because I can. Mostly getting my butt handed to me, which is, pretty much what I expect. Other than that, tons of heroes and garrison missions for my tables. I made half of my raids this week. And the other half were, hey, you get to work late, or hey, you have to work really early in the morning, so no. So that's fun. And yeah, that's been it. I haven't even touched Rocket League. I did, however, spend a little bit of time in a game I haven't played in a long time, Loadout, which is kind of a third-person shooter, but it's at best comical and just weird. And I found out that the game hasn't changed all that much, so I probably won't play it again for, I don't know, another 6 months. But yeah, that has been my week outside of work and all that. Well, there is one other thing, but it is not gaming related directly, so we're just gonna not talk about that. I half expected Scarlett to be like, no, talk about it, but I'm not going to, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, so...
But you still should talk about it, because now you're the one who brought it up. I didn't bring up anything. Theory didn't bring up anything. You started it, so you gotta tell us what this is.
I don't have to do anything, actually.
He's baiting us. This is normal Draven.
He's baiting the chat, which is kind of funny. I think chat should start like this war where they want him to tell whatever it is that he's dying to tell.
So you're inciting a riot? Is that what you're...
Drink. Oh, wait. That was last night. My mistake.
Yeah, that was for the hour I was actually able to make raid. That was interesting. You're going to have to yell at me to taunt, because I'm not going to remember.
You know, my boss was like, hey, you're going to do it, right? And I was like, what are we doing? Okay, sure. And I thought it was something work-related, but no, I got voluntold that I had to go out drinking with my coworkers. So I went out drinking with my coworkers, and it just so happened that I can drink them under the table. So that happened outside of raiding. And then I had to come home and raid, and then I wasn't focusing. So yeah, that happened.
You were definitely not focusing. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into some Blizzard news real quick. If you guys are good, I might give a story at the end of the show. Probably not. Anyway, Blizzard news! We actually have some this week.
This is the Blizzard news you can use.
So, this week we actually have Blizzard news, which happens every now and again. But yeah, you remember a couple weeks ago, Theory, how we were all, or at least I was worried that there was no Warcraft movie stuff at all?
Yeah, I remember you being extremely worried about it, and me saying, just wait, it'll be like 2 weeks and be stuff everywhere.
Yeah, well, in that 2-week period, we've seen 2 TV spots, minute-long, TV trailers. And then... That's not right. That.
Yeah, that was that. Just like they screwed up, you screwed up. Awesome.
Come on now, this is me. This is the show. You know it's going to happen.
Face Off.
Yes, Face Off. The sci-fi show about movie makeup artist people and the contest of who's best and elimination and all that fun stuff.
I just have to say the show is awesome.
I've watched a couple seasons of this show, and then I lost interest. And I meant to watch this this one episode just because it was freaking Warcraft related. And I've seen some of the pictures, and I don't know if I'm glad I didn't. I'm still going to watch it. But some of them were really good, and some of them weren't.
So I guess I'm the one that was left outside for this one, because when I read something about Face Off, I'm like, the John Travolta movie? What the hell? I didn't even realize that this was a thing. So, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, it was about 3 years ago or so I actually watched it. I don't know why I started watching it. I think it was on after or before something I actually wanted to watch, and then I just kind of like, oh, this is kind of interesting. And then, I don't know, I just stopped watching whatever. So. But yeah, it was a Warcraft one. You could tell some of the people actually played the game and kind of knew what was going on, and some were just completely, what is this? But yeah.
I felt really bad. I don't know what I can say without spoiling stuff, but there was one girl there who was geeking out super hard, and I felt bad for her. So anyways, she played the game.
Anyway, fun times. But that's not the only thing Blizzard related we had this week. There was
Oops.
Yeah, oopsie. I figured I'd just, screw up the chat. And that would be a good segue into this.
That's right. We're already on like 4.
Yeah.
So,
for about 5 minutes, they had posted, what you see on the screen pretty much. This year is going to be BlizzCon number 10 and Blizzard's 25th anniversary. Both of which lead me to believe, even separate, holy crap, big BlizzCon year. Combine them, holy freaking crap, this is going to be a big BlizzCon year. They even gave us some dates. November 4th and 5th. Pretty much where anyone who was paying attention was expecting.
well, actually, it wasn't, and this was like a month ago, but somebody was looking at calendars trying to figure out when it was going to be. And I thought they said it was booked for that weekend for a different convention.
Well, what it was, if I remember correctly, there was a big area blocked for Anonymous, and because there was a whole lot of Anonymous in the same area, they just left it all as one big block. So it looks like prior to this weekend and then after is going to be like 3 separate things, and BlizzCon's going to be right there in the middle.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. I mean, I would love it if they would, be closer to my side of the country, but that ain't going to happen.
So here's a question for both of you guys. A couple of people online after this kind of got leaked were making comments about how they were kind of let down and almost even salty that it was only going to be 2 days given the extra games and all the extra stuff. What's your feeling on that?
BlizzCon is always 2 days, isn't it?
It is, but they've added 2 new games since last BlizzCon.
Yeah, but doesn't seem to me like it would need to be anything different.
I made it perfectly clear I would love for it to be a 3-day thing. And I said that even after this last BlizzCon, like our show that next week. I was like, I'd love for it to be 3 days just because there's so much crap. Because there's so many now esports with Overwatch going to probably be added. I would imagine, so that's WoW, PvP, Hearthstone Championship, Heroes Tournament, StarCraft, Final 4, Final 8, somewhere around there. And then however many for Overwatch. So that's 5 games of theirs that they have quote-unquote esports for one way or another. They need to add another day, or they're like, I didn't see a single panel the entire time I was there. there was no time for me. I didn't even go to the upstairs into the theater area, partly because I didn't know it was there or forgot. But still, it's just one of those things. They need another day, just so people who want to see, say, I don't know, Heroes and StarCraft both, and due to tech issues and stuff, can only see one. I would love to have that extra day. That being said, I'm not all that surprised that there isn't. Because this year in particular, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of WoW stuff. Maybe.
Well, yeah, because Legion should just be released.
Well,
So
yeah, I'm thinking we might
what
see
would they even talk about?
Upcoming patches, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like maybe in raid stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
I hope they have the raid competition again, or maybe like challenge dungeons or something. That I really liked that part of BlizzCon.
Yeah.
Only problem is you're running out of competitors.
Well, more will show up, but yeah, it's
True.
To get the people on that level is not easy. But yeah, a PvE for WoW would be nice to go with the PvP, and then you got all the other games. To me, they need a third day, or they're going to be cutting out a whole lot of panels, which some people, if they cut panels, the problem with that, there's somebody who that's the panel they would look forward to the most. You know,
Agreed.
What are you going to do there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see, even though it was kind of a leak and maybe it might change, I'm happy to see something, at least they're thinking about doing it, which is awesome. But I'm with you. I would love to see a third day, even if it meant the tickets were a little bit more expensive, which it would. The problem for me is there's some of the competitions that I want to see, but you know this, Draven. Other stuff like StarCraft, I don't care. But there's a lot of those panels that I really don't want to miss. And since I am planning on trying to go this year, if the one or two competitions that I do want to see, maybe three, are happening at the same time that one of these panels are happening, I'm going to be kind of bummed.
And that's exactly what's going to happen. I guarantee it. Because it happened to me. There was the Q&A and all this other stuff. I ended up not being able to see the StarCraft at all because of the Heroes thing that happened. And like, I saw no panels. I couldn't get in to ask the question. I did leave several notes for, you know, how they did the Q&A this year. Whether it was mine or not that actually made it, who knows, but I still say Jaina's a Dreadlord. But yeah, it'll happen. You'll see, oh, there's that one panel, and then you're going to look, crap, there's the finals. You know, that's the tournament day too. That's why they need a third day. You can have half the finals or tournaments on one day and have panels, you know, keep going the entire day. But they, like you said, they've got more games now. Thus, logic would dictate they'd need more panels.
Yep, more panels, more competitions, a lot more stuff to cram into those same 2 days.
Yeah.
But not every game has things that could have a whole panel addressed to it. Like last year, there was the patch and whatever. I mean, the expansion. But WoW won't have as much stuff to cover. And
StarCraft won't
probably
likely
StarCraft
have anything.
Won't. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, there is that, but at the same time, you know there's going to be something WoW, because there almost has to be. Even if there's no new reveal, there will be a Q&A, there'll be lore discussion, sound design, whatever. They're going to have stuff for WoW. StarCraft, maybe, maybe not. It might just be, hey, here's the StarCraft finals. That's it. But yes. So we're looking at a possible and likely November 4-5 for BlizzCon, which means I need to request my time off in May, because I have to do it that early to get that time off.
As do I, and I'm competing with all the Disney runners that I work with. They're all going to try to get off on the same weekend because they have marathons at Disney here. So I'm literally going to go to work 2 hours early that day to try to be the first person to ask for it off.
Yeah, I'm lucky with that. Nobody where I work even thinks about requesting 6 months in advance. So 4 months
Disney
maybe.
has a marathon on that week.
Disney has marathons all the time, and it's kind of a big deal. And I didn't. The only reason I know this is the people that I work with, but like you pay an entry fee, and it's a sizable entry fee. And if you do the marathons, you get this like crazy medal, like and there's like Star Wars ones and all kinds of other themed ones like Disney Princess runs, and you'll see guys like wearing tutus running marathons. It's like it's a big deal. I had no idea how big of a deal it was until I work where I do. But yeah, it's people pay hundreds of dollars to run in these marathons just so they can get the Disney medals.
Yeah. So yeah. Start looking at hotels for that area, folks. And remember, you can always change the dates for free.
Oh, really? That's a good thing to know.
Yeah. Up next, have you guys heard of Scott Johnson?
Yes.
Because he is the community spotlight. Like I said, I'm actually, now that I thought about it, I was like, why wasn't he on here sooner? He's like the most famous WoW person I can think of.
Yeah, definitely from a podcasting standpoint.
Yeah,
I was kind of surprised reading this, the similarities to what he did previously to what Pat and CTR has done for Convert to Raid. I had no idea he was the person who started AIE until I read this, which is pretty freaking cool. So it's definitely worth a read. It's a quick thing. I mean, obviously, Instance. If you haven't heard the Instance podcast, you're missing out. These guys are awesome. We've been doing it for years.
Yeah. I actually had the privilege of sitting next to him for about an hour during the tech issues at BlizzCon Heroes Tournament. But I've already told that story multiple times. But he's a cool guy. It's one of those things where if you know who he is, and you're someone like me who's kind of, in comparison, a nobody, it's kind of an intimidating thing, but at the same time, he's a cool guy. Just as is. So, congrats to you, sir. I told you congrats in your instant stream earlier today, but here's an official one for me on the show. And that will also bring us to something I know Scarlett is looking forward to. The Winston plush doll.
I want
I also want.
so bad.
I'll tell you that the video we showed last week had made me decide I want to play Winston even more. So now I'm going to be really let down if by the time I play it, I can't stand him.
I've been in some games with Winston in it. He jumps around a lot, or at least the ones that I've seen. He's all over the place. He's got the little rocket pack, and it's like on an 8-second cooldown or something like that. He jumps around a lot.
I played him a couple times. He was pretty fun. I didn't really know how to play him very well, but he seemed pretty fun. I think you'll like it.
Yeah. I'm definitely not a tank in that game. So I haven't played him all that much. But the few times that I did mess with him, he was cool. I'm no good with him, but really at this point, am I good with anybody? I'm almost competent at Bastion if I'm left alone. But
So will you be buying Baby Winston?
I'm gonna wait to see how much he is first.
He's going to be the same price as the other plush. He's probably 25 to 35.
Yeah.
Honestly, I won't say that I won't buy him. Presuming I go to BlizzCon, I'll probably get him there if I don't already decide to get him. And I may decide to get him anyway for another reason that may or may not coincide with the story later, but that's unrelated. But yeah, Coming in May, I believe, is when they said.
Yes.
Yes.
In May.
But yeah, so that'll be interesting. I hope they do more characters in the plush toys, because that would just be really cool.
We all know once you want a Reaper.
I think Reaper would look weird, though.
Of course it looks weird. They're all going to look weird.
No, I mean, as a plushie, he would look really odd as a plush doll. I could see a pop vinyl or something like that, not a problem. But
I think Reaper
doll,
would be weird as a plushie.
Yeah, that would be a little weird.
Okay.
Who knows?
Maybe they'll do one of his skins. You can get the what I don't even know what the right terminology is. The all white one.
Oh, the mariachi one?
Yeah, the mariachi one. That would be hysterical.
Yeah. I could see that one being a plushie first, but yeah. No, he's got a new skin they just added. It's kind of Diablo Raven, like kind of the necromancer-y guy looking thing. It looks really cool. I hope I eventually get that one. But it takes so long to get open boxes. It's like, oh.
Complaining about being able to play the game.
Well, don't want to get it now, because if you get it now, you just got to give it back. Get it after it's out.
That's true.
Yeah. No, I know. But I'm just saying, eventually. It's going to be... The stuff in-game I want will be the new Ashbringer for me. That's all it's going to turn into. But, yeah, last up for Blizzard news. Scarlet, you'll be into this more than me or Theory, because I have my corrupted Ashbringer there. Reaper of Souls, as of today, the 25th, is now officially 2 years old.
Yep. It is. Although, I haven't logged on in a few weeks. I did download the beta, and I was like, I'm going to play the beta. And then I tried to do character creation, like transfer my character, and it crashed the client, and then I never reopened it. So that was my beta experience. But I should really log back in. Maybe this weekend.
Yeah, I haven't played since I went to the cow level. Diablo for me is one of those, I'll binge on it for a little while as a distraction for other things. I was forced to take time off of Heroes, so that's where most of my game time is gone. I have been playing quite a bit of Overwatch. Alpha Legion, not as much, but that's just because I don't want to get burnt out on that before we get that, because I know how the content cycle there works. Here's this little bit, and then in 6 months, here's this little bit, and then in a year and a half, here's a new expansion. And I don't want to... Yeah. I would rather keep giving Blizzard somebody else's money. But, speaking of WoW, we might as well go ahead and talk about that little MMO that everyone's out to kill. Helps if I unmute myself first, doesn't it?
Maybe.
It depends on your point of view, I suppose. So, honestly, there's nothing new in the game.
Wow, that's impressive news.
Yeah.
We needed a bumper for that?
No, what we have the bumper for is this piece of art. This is the reveal, and yes, those are Hearthstone cards, and that's how we learned of this. But this is the first official art of the old god N'Zoth. I'm assuming that's how his name is pronounced. I've never actually heard Blizzard talk about him.
It's tentacle.
Yeah, it's the hentai guy.
Something.
Yeah. Either way, So Cthulhu was a giant eye with a bunch of tentacles. Yogg-Saron was a bunch of mouths with tentacles. This thing looks basically like an oversized kraken, and that's how I say that. I don't know if that's actually the proper pronunciation, but that's how I say it, dang it.
It's an octopus.
Kraken.
Yeah. Kraken.
Kraken. I have
Kraken.
no idea either.
You
It's
say
kraken.
you say potato, I say nuclear warhead.
In Pirates of the Caribbean, I think they say Kraken. So there you go.
Actually,
Release the kraken.
that wasn't pirates, but yeah. So yeah, we have
So it
this.
was.
And with it, obviously we found out about it through Hearthstone. But there's a good chance, and this is speculation, we're gonna end up seeing him at least a little bit in Legion. The reason I think that is this is the old god in charge of, well, not in charge of, he's the old god who is the reason for the Emerald Nightmare. On top of, Deathwing becoming Deathwing. But since we're going to the Emerald Nightmare and the Emerald Dream and all that area, there's a good chance we're going to at least encounter this guy.
So he's not green? That's sad.
I know, he's like brown and purple and yellow and every color other than. And to talk to address what the chat room is saying, yes, he is Yogg and Cthulhu's older brother. He is considered the most powerful of the old gods. And he is referenced in theory, because we're not entirely sure that's what they were talking about, via the toy Yogg-Saron's puzzle box. They've never officially said that was him that they was talking about. But yeah, theory. What do you think of what he looks like, and do you think we're gonna, maybe see him anytime soon?
Well, he looks like an octopus to me, and it makes sense for it to be in some type of a water world. And since I have seen the race that they did with the couple of different teams recently, in something Maw, I think was the name of the dungeon that they were in. There was a lot of tentacles, there was a lot of water, and there was boats breaking apart. So it kind of makes a lot of sense. That'll be part of it. If you happen to get the book, the Chronicles book, right in the beginning, it talks about the old gods, and it says, old gods are physical manifestations of the void. They are nightmares incarnate, mountains of blighted flesh, writhing tentacles that grow like cancers within the worlds of the great dark. These malignant entities serve the void lords, and they live only to transform the worlds they infest into places of despair and death. Sounds pretty cool to me.
That does sound pretty badass.
So what you're saying is you have a new summer home, and that is a world of despair and death.
Yes.
Okay. And yeah, that really is the major thing for WoW News, is he showed up. Now I asked Theory, Scarlet, what do you think of him? Or it, or whatever.
What do you mean? What do I think of him?
Do you think that's
He's scary.
Yeah. Do you think we're going to end up seeing him probably in Legion?
Probably. I mean, they said that there's didn't they say that there's like something behind the Legion invading, and that we would see some of the old gods? So I'm sure we will, which kind of makes sense that they're tying that into the Hearthstone expansion. But he looks pretty cool to me. I kind of like that they all sort of, even though they're very different, they all sort of look like each other at the same time. That's cool.
Yeah. I think originally that was just so that they would have players thinking, oh, these guys are kind of similar. But at this point, with everything we've seen and all that, they wouldn't have to do that, but it makes sense that they do. So yeah.
It does.
Yeah, fun times there. And yes, if you want a more in-depth discussion about that, check out, and you don't mind spoilers, check out the Lore Watch podcast over on Blizzard Watch. They've been going into some pretty heavy detail. It's one of the ones I listen to regularly. So, yeah, free plug. Do you guys have really anything WoW related outside of that? Because kind of a...
I don't have anything WoW related, but I do have two things that I'm going to use here, since we don't really have much in WoW anyway, which I thought was kind of cool. So, being that we're epic fail, there was two things that happened this week that kind of qualify as the fail of the week. And they involve WoW players and things that happened to them, even though they weren't actually playing WoW at the time. So the first one was our buddy who's in chat right now, Cuddles, aka host of the Game Case, who his wife has been out of town and he's been off of work. I'm not going to go into details there, but he was doing some crazy Hearthstone, getting through some stuff, and just blowing right through it. All won this match and fell asleep. And the reason that it's a foul or a fail is that he was streaming and received a 24-hour ban for falling asleep after winning his Hearthstone match. So that's fail number one of the week. Fail number two of the week is, I don't know if you watched our last episode, but Totem was on one of our more recent episodes. Totemly Drunk is his name. And he recently, just the other day, was watching a show, Gordon Ramsay. He actually, he has the Hell's Kitchen, has, great shows if you're into like cooking shows. The problem is while he was watching this show, he had no idea that he was streaming for 6 hours on Twitch while he was drying off from his shower and watching the show.
I didn't hear about this
and
one.
Eating. Luckily, he didn't do anything crazily inappropriate and was able to delete the VOD. But yes, he streamed for 6 hours without realizing it. So that's fail number two of the week. And hopefully we'll have some crazy stories like this to go forward to talk about. So there you go. There's our WoW time for the week.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to add a segment to the show at some point. It might not be an every week thing, but we're going to do a fail of, whether it's week, month, something like that. I'm going to go ahead and give that one to Totem. That's not the first time Cuddles has fallen asleep on stream.
No, but he actually fell asleep this time. He didn't pass out because he had too many bananas. He fell asleep this time. So I feel bad for the brother because I don't understand. Like he had the game. The game was up. He just fell asleep. So it's not like he was broadcasting non-gaming content or whatever it was that they banned him for. So I'm in his corner on this one. He just fell asleep.
Yeah.
So he definitely didn't deserve his 24-hour ban, but still, fail of the week.
Yeah, I was actually in chat for that. I happened to be tabbed out and playing Overwatch, and someone pinged me, like, "Hey, are you in chat? Are you still there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in." And then by that time, my game had ended. Like, we need you over here because I have a little sword in his chat room. So I literally showed up and I started kicking people, like timing them out and all that. I didn't ban anybody just because I don't want to ban someone without his permission. But there was like 10 people, and we got him. And then we spent the next hour trying to get him to wake up and turn the stream off. Yeah, that didn't happen. It did turn off, but that was Twitch.
Just 24 hours of off.
So I also have a fail for this week. Well, it's not fail so much as a statement about failing. So yesterday during raid, Draven was giving me a hard time earlier because I was a little out of it, shall we say, in the sense of
Lots of spicy water.
yes. However, I did manage to stay in the raid the whole time. But Draven decided to stay up for 3 days, so he couldn't finish the raid last night.
See, when you say it like that, you make it sound like...
I was told I had to bug you from La Asti.
I know. But when you say it like that, you say it as if I had a say in the matter. I tried to sleep. It just didn't happen.
Sure you did. Yeah, we should have given you a stam flask.
I had plenty of stam flask. It didn't help.
That makes you crash.
Yeah, when you stop drinking it. I literally, yesterday after work, to the time I was going, I drank, this is a 1.5 liter. I had
that could be a reason why you're having trouble sleeping if you're
I
drinking.
don't normally drink that much of it. I had that much yesterday.
Every show you're drinking.
Yeah, it's like
okay, Mom.
It's like 1:15 in the morning here right now.
Let the man drink what he wants.
Let me drink what I want.
Fair enough.
Anyway. Apparently we have nothing else WoW related.
Oh, I do.
Oh, wait.
So I just want to shout out to those people who came out to raid with us yesterday. I know this is a shout out, but I want to say that it was kind of cool. And one of our guildies was streaming, and some random person was watching their stream, and I'm like, oh, random person should come raid with us. And they happened to be a 742 mage, so that was cool. And they were pretty cool. And we had some other cool people help us out. So thanks, dudes, for coming out. And that's my WoW statements for today.
You're muted.
So what happens is I bump it, and I forget I bumped it. So then I intentionally hit it and unmute myself. And then I accidentally bump it again.
So where is the call out this week? Like, we were talking about the game for the fails and like how many shots. They got to be up to like 25 or something at this point.
See, I don't want to encourage a drinking game for our show based on fails, because I don't want anyone to die from alcohol poisoning.
I'm gonna
that probably is possible.
I probably can drink you both under the table since you both don't drink.
I don't really drink. However, I'm a big man, so I don't know. You go to BlizzCon, we can find out.
You know what? If I win the lottery, I will be going to BlizzCon. Otherwise,
well, there is a movie coming out in June. I know there's at least one meetup gonna happen. I can pretty much guarantee there's going to be more than just the one, but there's one major one out in Minneapolis area.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I am going to see the movie for sure on the night it's released, no matter how late I have to stay up. But I am not flying halfway across the country to go see a movie.
They're having a whole weekend of stuff.
That's just spoil sport. It's like meeting guildies, hanging out with friends. And
so it's more than one day at least?
Yeah, it's the entire, it's Friday and Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, then less salt. I pull some salt back off of that. But if it was like one night and you went to go see a movie, and then that's like,
worth it. I mean, don't get me
$400 to fly there.
Yeah.
To go to a movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. A lot of the people going, I think, are really cool. If it was one day, no, not gonna happen. I'm still not going. I want to go, but my choice right now is BlizzCon and then some other travel I have plans for, or that.
They bought out a whole theater and they bought all the tickets. And I know that there was more people interested than they had tickets for, so they bought a bigger theater out.
Yeah. Yeah, the movie is actually free if you go. Everything else you got to pay for. But the movie itself is free. And yes, Cuddles, thank you for the link. The well played, it is http colon, I'm just going to say slash because I don't give a crap about forward backslash. You know which slash you need. Wellplayedparty.com.
Don't forget all that stuff he said in the middle. That's part of that. No, never mind. So Sir Alex in the chat just said something amazingly funny. That him and his buddy are going to stand outside the theater once the movie's over when they're loading in the next people and tell them to choose a side. You need to have the paint. One of you needs to paint half your face blue and the other person needs to paint half their face red. That is awesome. Love the idea.
Yeah. That's almost as good as the time I was this close and everyone convinced me otherwise because they thought I was going to get, hurt.
Probably not a good idea to bring swords to the theater, though.
No, none of that. I was going to go to the re-release of Star Wars, the upgraded digital versions that nobody liked, dressed as a Star Trek person. Then I was going to do the same thing to Star Trek with Star Wars, yeah. So, they told me not to do that. Those people take that kind of thing seriously.
That's kind of dangerous.
Yeah. But, what do you do? Anyway, we have massively derailed on that point because this is not about those at all. So, to go back to where we're supposed to be, Hearthstone. And the big news is the Tavern Brawl. We got.
It's not.
I said it is. The only thing that's live and big news. How about that? I actually. Anyway, now that I've derailed myself. Wow, that's awful.
I gotcha. Kel'Thuzad and Ratham are competing to see who the superior end boss is. Take a side and battle for evil supremacy.
Yay.
That was some good narration.
I try. I'm just trying to cover up for whatever the hell he's doing over there, but it's taking a while.
I am fixing the chat box because that was awful. That was really awful. That annoyed me more than it should have.
Makes for great audio podcasting.
Yes. So, yeah. So you got KT and Ratham.
Is that how you say it, Ratham? I completely guessed.
Sure.
Who is Ratham, by the way?
He's just one of the new adventure, the League. He's just one of the bosses there. He's the big bad guy of that.
So he's not really in any of the other games anywhere else?
Not really.
Okay, all right. Then I don't feel bad about possibly mispronouncing his name at all.
Yeah, that's all he is. So what it is, the hero powers cost 2, as per usual. The Ratham guy gets an extra. You get a card, and depending on how many staff pieces you throw into that, you get better cards for less cost. So yeah. With KT, his hero power is any minion you've lost for 2 mana, you can get 1 back. You don't pick, it's random, so if you only ever lost 1 minion, you're guaranteed to get him back. If you get a bunch, whatever. KT definitely has the easier job of winning on this one. it's not impossible for the other guy to win, just like Rag and Nefarian. It's not impossible for the wrong one to win. It's just really harder.
That didn't make sense in English. And
Yeah, it did.
really harder.
Yes.
So,
I was
which one?
stressing.
Much
Which
harder.
one did you find easier?
KT.
Really?
Yeah.
All my wins have been with Reform.
I have
And
one win
staff
with.
pieces.
Yeah, I have one win with him and 5 wins with KT. I've
No,
played this one a little bit.
I only have like 5 or 6 wins because I've been trying to rank. But they're all with Rafam. And twice he's given me a Deathwing, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not impossible. But for me, at least, KT is way easier. Because you get a 2-cost minion that could be massively undercosting for what it would cost to play it. So. I know.
So I just have to say something because nobody said something. Thule says he's flying over the pond to come see the movie. So I will shut up because if he's crossing oceans to come see the movie, I can't bitch about a 4-hour plane ride.
I wasn't going to say anything because I didn't want to make you feel bad, but I already knew he was coming over. Of course,
I still
knew
wouldn't
that.
do it, man. More power to you. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Not for a movie.
Well, I mean, you're going to hang out with people, and apparently there's a theme park type thing that they're going to go to and stuff like that. So. But,
I'm sure a good time will be had by all. I'll be here drinking after watching the movie or something.
Yeah. I know I'm going to watch the movie. And I know this isn't Hearthstone, but since we brought it up again, I will probably be out of town to watch the movie. Just not over there. I'll be going the other direction.
So, other than Tavern Brawl on Hearthstone, what else is going on? Anything?
In terms of live, I haven't seen anything really. Scarlett would know more about that than I do. But
a lot of the cards have been revealed. They look really freaking cool.
Yeah.
And that's for not live. That's for what's coming up, right?
Yeah, that's for what's coming up. We still got a little ways to go. I mean, we can go into it. I didn't set anything up for it because I figured it'd be better when we have more cards. Because right now we're at like 34 out of 134, so we got a ways to go.
Makes sense. But Scarlett, where can people go if they want to look at them?
If you give me a second, I can find the link. I forgot to save it on my computer. I was looking at it earlier.
Right under the bus.
You totally did.
I will save you, Scarlett.
Because I put it in chat for us to put it in, but I thought Draven would put it in there, so I didn't save it.
Hearthpawn, Icy Veins, anything, any of your Hearthstone websites look stuff up. Hearthhead, the Wowhead version. Hearthpawn, that's what that is. Blizz Pro will have stuff. Anything that is a Blizzard website will have has a Hearthstone section. Will have this stuff.
Okay, so I'm gonna derail this again real quick. So Hearthhead and Wowhead. Does anybody else feel slightly guilty about typing in those website addresses when they're at work?
Only Wowhead.
No, because everything at work is blocked for me. They blocked all our interwebs.
Yeah, I don't type them in. I literally, if I'm going to those sites, it's because an article was linked on Twitter, and I don't have to type anything in. I just click a link.
I don't know. I mean, I'll go to MMO Champion, whatever, but that's pretty obvious. But typing in Wowhead at work just makes me think, okay, somebody's going to see this website and want to know what the hell I was looking at.
Hey, at least you're not Coltrane when they were doing the new models.
Oh, yeah, with naked gnomes and whatever it was on his screen. Yeah.
No, it's for this game. No, really.
Sure.
Wait, what happened?
long story made shorter, Coltrane saw the updated models back when they were still revealing them while he was at work. Co-workers saw him looking, and because of how they displayed them, aka naked people, or mostly naked people, bare minimum covered, he got some strange looks for a while.
Yeah, it was a funny topic on CTR.
That's the thing. My work, everything is blocked, so it's not like I can actually go look at anything. But at the same time, I don't think anybody at work would be surprised if I had like some animated characters on my screen that, yeah, nobody would be surprised. Anyways, they just know I game, not that anything else.
Alright. Do we have anything else besides card reveals? Because, like I said, I was saving that for at least when we have a few more.
Nope.
Okay. Well, in that case, I will try to keep this brief. There is a lot of stuff I could cover, but I'm not. So I will just keep this brief and make sure you guys don't pass out. And that is for Heroes.
Heroes of the Storm.
And for the strangest free-to-play lineup I've ever seen, Lily, ETC, Falstad, Tassadar, Nazebo, and Greymane. All free this week to everybody. Sonya 5, Kerrigan 7. Up till now, it's perfectly fine. Then we get to 12 and 15, and Cho and Gall. Separate. What? That makes no sense at all to me. It's the same character. They're separated, but it's the same freaking character. Why it's set up this way, I don't get, but...
Which one steers?
Which one's what?
Which one steers?
Cho.
Okay, so if you're 12, you got your driver's license, but you can't kill anybody until you're 15.
That's funny.
I will give you credit.
That's
was amusing.
really funny.
That was amusing. I'll give you credit there. And then on sale this
That
week.
doesn't seem dumb. I'm sorry, I'm with you, man. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. And then a last ditch effort to make money off of this skin, because it's one coming up. Asgul'dan is $5. Make your Asmodan look like Gul'dan. And you also have Stitches and Psycho Stitches. Psycho Stitches is actually a really cool skin. I don't play Stitches enough to buy it, but I really want it. That one and Chef Stitches. But yeah. We got Asmo Dunk coming soon, and we all know anyone who plays Heroes a lot is either going to win or buy that skin. Which reminds me, Theory. How are you doing on your bracket? Have you checked it?
I haven't checked it. My LSU 2 versus LSU 1 bracket.
Mm-hmm.
I remind me what website that was I made that bracket on, and I'll check it right now.
Heroesofthedorm.com.
Okay, I'll find it.
I can guarantee you are probably doing just as well as almost everybody else. Because round 1, rank 1 Waterloo got upset. Which screwed up a whole lot of brackets, including mine, because they were in my final 4. You might have to log in. Yeah. I know I am at 560 points. Which is not bad. I know people who have more.
That sounds like my e-peener is bigger than your e-peener.
No, not at all. I'm just saying...
How many points do you have?
560.
You're kicking the crap out of me, sir. I got 360.
Uh,
And one of my LSUs is already out, and they got outed in the very first round.
yeah. Do you still have all of your Final Four?
No, no, because one of the LSUs is out,
Okay,
and UCLA is out.
Okay, so you're down
the
to two
other
of
LSU
them.
is still in, and my other ASU is still in.
Okay, ASU I think is a safe bet. That being said, don't get upset, please. But yeah, it's been interesting. A lot of people are that I have talked to are around the 500 marker. There's that Flash Goth you mentioned earlier in chat, Scarlet. He's got 620, which is the highest score I've heard personally.
Wow.
So Flash Goth wins the E-Peener contest.
Yeah.
So far, it's still going.
Yeah, it's still going. I've got 3 out of 4 teams in my Final Four left. Both of my finals, top 2, are still there. So, fingers crossed.
Yes, I have 2 out of 4.
Yeah.
So, only if LSU 2 wins the whole thing, which they have a chance, do I actually get some points out of this thing.
Yeah, I've got ASU versus, I think, LSU.
LSU 2?
I'd have to look to be 100% sure, but I think it's those two I had in the finals. Because my final 2 is still intact. And I have it going, I think, 3-1 for the finals, because it's best out of 5.
That's remarkably similar, considering LSU 2 is ranked 6th in their bracket.
Yeah, I'd have to look. Last I looked, I had 3 out of the 4. So, yeehaw. And then, since we have that, there are changes coming to Hero League, basically, and against other people. You can set up drafts. We are getting bans, which is something people have been asking for a while. It's lots of changes. We don't have time to go into all of them. If you want to go check them all, go over to the website for Heroes. Check out Lords of the Storm or Stormcast or any other Heroes podcast that you choose. That's the big thing. This is the biggest single patch since the game came out. So yay. Lots of changes. Lots of changes. Lots of changes. Still no MMR reset. Oh well. Looking forward to it. And Dahaka, the new hero, is coming out. I'm definitely buying Tuesday. Yeah. So like I said, I kept it quick. We spent more time on the bracket than anything else.
Which is the part that I care about, so I appreciate that very much.
I would love to spend more time talking Heroes, but as I'm the only one of us that play the game... Oh well.
It's just not fun.
Oh, ouch.
To which I will say... I'm kidding.
Meh.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not a hostage anymore, yay! Oh, I'm back. Alright. So yeah, I would love to spend more time there, but yeah. Anyway, feedback! Feedback. I don't know either. We would love feedback. Give us information. Theory, you're on 1960s TV.
It's feedback.
Sure. Anyway.
It's gone now.
Yay!
Alex said you should spend more time on WoW so he can stop beating you like a red-headed stepchild.
To which I will reply, what's the name of the helm tier, the first tier boss? Cormorock?
Yes.
I'm just gonna name that and say 30K difference and move on. Anyway, feedback. Send us feedback. We would love to hear from you. Suggestions, questions. Nothing creepy, but just give us.
Oh, you can send creepy ones right to Draven.
Yes,
Yes, send us Draven.
Yeah, go ahead. Send me all the creepy stuff. My Twitter handle is @GankTheory because I like being ironic.
I will forward it all to you.
I will block you. It's fine. Anyway, we have the strangest conversations sometimes. And this is actually tame compared to some.
Between you guys.
Oh. Well, we're not going to say what we want them to send you. That's another podcast entirely.
You know, when we were drinking, my coworker's like, "Can I borrow your phone?" And then he went and typed in a whole bunch of nasty stuff in my Google. So now my search history is really weird.
Well, okay.
Did you take any pictures?
I knew it was going to be bad, but that was not nearly as bad as it could have been.
But then we're all in a WhatsApp chat, so I may have sent some pictures of naked men in our WhatsApp chat to get them back. So, yeah.
Okay. I don't know where to go with that for feedback, so we're just going to move on. And Scarlett, we're going to go ahead and do some shout-outs. So, yes, you can go first because you're a lady.
I'm a lady! Shout-outs to the people who came raiding with us this week. So that would be PvE Champion from Kel'Thuzad server. Yay for watching Twitch and raiding with us. That was fun. Shout out to Pelizuka and Gigglin, who has the cutest giggle ever, who came and raided with us. And shout out to Raxi because it's his birthday. And shout out to my raid team. Osti and Alex and iHeels and everybody else who came out to listen to us today. Cinnamon and the Game Case and Beeramu and Flashgoth 1971 for keeping our tribe awesome. And also Tuli. So thank you guys. And now I'm speechless. So, yep.
Okay, Theory!
So I don't know if there's anyone left after that. She got almost everybody. So I'm going to make a general one this week. I'm going to give a shout out, not to the No Beta Club, because no. I'm going to give a shout out to every boss that truly appreciates and understands what his workers do for them and the company that they work for, and shows that appreciation. This doesn't happen enough.
Yeah.
That's a really good shout out.
I'm going to presume something where you work happened and your boss showed you appreciation.
I get it regularly, to be perfectly honest. However, I know other people don't, especially people that we talk to on a daily basis, and he knows what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, for me, in terms of, gaming and stuff like that, I don't really have a whole lot of game-related shout-outs. So, I will just preemptively give a shout-out to everyone going to BlizzCon and orders a BlizzCon badge from, whether it's Badge Babes or if you're like me, you're having someone else make it specific. And, yeah. So, BlizzCon, yay! Hope everyone who wants to go gets to go. I know that won't happen, but I'm sorry. That will be it for the shoutouts. Theory, I think we need to let people know how to get a hold of us. So.
All right. So before we do that, before we start the music, we did fix our issues with our Discord server. There will be a link in this video that you guys can join it if you would like. We are going to move forward with using that for now until Blizzard comes out with something cooler. And you can talk to us and
If
put
it
your
works.
questions for the show and all that good stuff right in there.
All right. Okay, we got that set up for you. Let's get some music here for you. 3, 2, 1, go.
So at Epic Fail Podcast, we do love it when you contact us. So here's the ways that you can do that. We are at www.epicfailpodcast.com. On Facebook, you can find us at /podcastepicfail. Twitter is at podcastepicfail. You can follow Draven at Draven Dresden on Twitter. You can follow Scarlett at Scarlett_CTR. And you can follow me, Theory, at Gank Theory, also on Twitter. Don't forget, you can find our podcasts on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. We look forward to hearing from you.
Now, Theory, what have I told you? That is an expensive habit you've got there, sir.
Well, oh, yeah. Well, I just keep re-breaking the same one. Pick it up and throw it down again. Sometimes I cut myself.
Okay. Hey, if you're into that, more power to you, I guess.
Maybe.
Yeah, who knows? Okay, so that was how to get a hold of us. Yay. So I guess that would be a show for the night. We actually almost made the hour marker.
Almost.
Just about. We're getting there.
I still derailed you like crazy in almost an hour.
We're called Epic Fail. That's why we get away with derailing as much as we do. Alright. So, I guess that leaves us to last words. Does anyone have one? Or series of them?
Nope.
We appreciate you.
I'm going to presume that is to the chat room.
And to all the listeners.
Yes. I would say there's no way Theory just said that to me. That would just be weird. So, with that, we appreciate you will be the last words. So, we appreciate you.
Hello, Mother. You know, the world could always use more heroes.